Hey guys, this is a call for uprising. Just want to piggyback on Carl's video that he was posted. I don't know if you're a subscriber to his new channel, um, but I want to go about this card game that he was talking about that I always post on my channels. It's the Illuminati card game, and I was letting you guys know that they put this stuff in the cards before it actually happens, because this game was made in 1995 and all these events are occurring now because they had these planned out. So this video is 16 minutes long. I hope you're willing to stand by, but if you are, you will get more information that you need and understand why this happened and why this did happen, and we will go over the video as played. I cannot actually show you the video as played because it is copyright, but I can show you a few clips from the actual video itself, and I can also go into detail about it. So here we go.
Is the end of the beginning. Welcome to today's show. I want to welcome all the new subscribers who have found my channel, which is the reason that I stay here on YouTube for people that constantly ask me why I leave. Because once in a while, somebody might share one of my videos and they're more likely to see it here on YouTube than anywhere else, and that way more people will come in who are new to all of this stuff, and thus we can all continue this awakening together, because it's about reaching new people. It's not about speaking in an echo chamber or constantly just, if I was talking to the same people every day, which I do enjoy, obviously, everybody who's been here for a long period of time, but it would just be no different than us talking on the phone, which is fine too. But in this case, me being here on YouTube, I want to be able to share information and educate people and wake them up and help them on their journey so they can see what exactly is going on here. And today I want to talk about the Illuminati card game, which I've covered numerous times over the year. But the fact that there's a card in the deck, which just so happens to be Hawaii, which...
See, look at this, guys. I'm not joking. There's an actual card of the Hawaii, and the ground is on fire, and he's pulling a Hawaii guy that lives there up. There are two guys surrounding one guy, and he's pulling them up. Actually, is he pushing him? I don't even know, people. But it's Hawaii, so there you go. And the ground's on fire. It's literally smoking, and they're running away.
Just so happens to be labeled as a vacation spot for the middle class. And of course, we know that part of this New World Order blueprint is the destruction of the middle class. There will be no more classes. There will only be poverty. There will only be people living as slaves to the rich global elites. And that's why it's amazing to me that people continue to still divide themselves amongst Democrat and Republican. And we even see such insane people out there who are Democrat, who don't realize that they're actually communists, who will go with the political party no matter how corrupt and no matter what they say. The party could literally come out on television and perform acts with children, and they will still defend it and support it. And we're even seeing that with what occurred in Maui, because a lot of people out there who don't understand direct energy weapons, who don't know what's going on, who don't know about what the...
Okay, so what he's talking about is the actual lasers that come down from the satellites, and they have a card about that too, but I haven't showed you that yet because it hasn't came up. Hold on. I did manage to pull the card up again. I can't read it to you. That is the Hawaii card that is being played. Oh, I'm sorry, that's already been played. It says the traditional vacation spot for the world's middle class. Oh wow, it actually says a traditional vacation spot for the world's middle class. Hawaii gives one of the extra token each turn to the group that controls it if that group is corrupt. Well, we all know it's corrupt, right? Ha ha ha. So yeah.
The government's doing, who don't know about globalism, who literally believe the news, they're starting to say, wait a minute, why are we, maybe we shouldn't give so much money to Ukraine. We need to take care of our own here. And of course, the liberal Democrats, the extremists, communists, are still defending Ukraine, saying that we still need to give all our money to Ukraine, even before the poor civilians of Maui. Now, both of the agendas are one and the same with the destruction of Ukraine. Obviously, they're bringing in BlackRock there to recreate Ukraine. And obviously, we know the CIA's ties to Ukraine. We don't need to go deep into that here on YouTube. You're not allowed to. That's for the website only. But I wanted to talk about the Illuminati card game. So if you're new to all this stuff, obviously the majority of you are.
And by the way, guys, I'm learning stuff too from Call. That's why I also watch his channel. I watch his channel so I can learn too. So I can become knowledgeable and great in my YouTube channel just like him. But I really do watch Call's channels, and I try to get more knowledge from him because there's some stuff that I don't even know that I really want to know. You know, I think you want to know too, right?
Or not, the majority of you understand. The Illuminati card game is a card game that came out in 1995. It's a game
that I did know.
That they continue to make new revisions of the game, new versions of the game. And the game...
Right here is the Pentagon and the World Trade Center and the Pentagon being attacked. And that was in the card game too. That was made, and these cards were made in 95, by the way.
Feels of the, the plans of the elites, right? The plans and the things that they've done already. So for example, I'll just do a quick example. The most obvious one, the one that woke a lot of people up, was seeing in 1995 the card game released. And of course we saw the Twin Towers, right? And we saw what happened to them, and the card game showed us that, as well as the Pentagon, as well as many other things over the years, which I have covered. So let's just take a look at some of the strange coincidences in the card game, of course, with the things that just occurred in Maui. So we have the Hawaii card, right? Which people just don't understand. When they put the locations in the game, there's a reason for it, right? Now, one can understand when...
Right, it says Hawaii. They had one in Russia, too. They had a Russian card, by the way. I wonder why that's in the game. It could be a lot of reasons, but I won't go into detail. Actually, I will. It could be because of Trump, or it could be because of the Ukraine thing that's going on. Either one of those two will work.
When the game has a China card or a Russia card...
There you go. That's what I was talking about right there. A China card or a Russia card. There you go. Those are the two cards I was talking about. Oh, wow. It says Russia has a +4 for detect control over any communist group and gives a +2 for any attempt to control destroy communist group. However, communist group gets a 4+ control. The natural resources of China give 1 extra token. China has endured for thousands of years and will likely be here for thousands more. Any attempt to destroy it, even a disaster, has plenty of -20. So, yeah. There you go. Take that with a grain of salt. Yeah, take that with a grain of salt.
Those are pretty obvious, right? Because those are big players in the New World Order, right? They're obviously countries, so they should have their own cards. But Hawaii is one that should raise eyebrows. Why would there be a Hawaii card in there? And another thing we can think about with the destruction of Hawaii, if the card game is talking about how it's the #1 vacation destination for the middle class, well, them taking that away from the middle class is just another way of saying middle finger to the middle class. Now, we know it's about more than taking away a vacation spot for the middle class, of course, and the land grab that's going on over there. But it's very interesting that we have a Hawaii card. It wouldn't be in there. But...
the land grab. I heard Oprah purchased a lot of that land anyway after they brought it up, after it burnt up. My bad. So you tell me who's at fault.
By coincidence, they don't just pick a location and put it in there. There isn't a Iowa, state. Hawaii is a state, right? There isn't one for Iowa. There isn't one for Arkansas, right? We obviously know there's ones for like California and New York, which are big players. But Hawaii, you would think, because it's just an island, right, out in the Pacific, why would there be a card there? So we have Hawaii, which should raise eyebrows, because I would assume that this would be the thing that tied into Hawaii. And then you have the killer satellite, right? And that's your direct energy weapon card.
There we go. That's the card I was looking for, guys. The killer satellite. Now, I think what Cole's about to say here is that the satellite is the one that caused the thing. As an action, the killer satellite may attempt at any time to destroy any satellite resource of the orbital mind control lasers, which we know exist. If a target is destroyed, any action it had just announced is canceled. For a sure kill, discard the killer satellite or roll the dice. 1 or 2 targets destroyed. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what they use.
Right there, as you can see, this isn't just a satellite. You can see that it's got lasers on the satellite. Okay, so you see how this game works? And you connect the cards and you see everything that's going on. Sometimes you don't even need to connect the cards, but you have the killer satellite card. And then, of course, we had the spy satellite, right? So you put these three together.
I don't know what the spy satellite is, but that's the spy satellite he's talking about. And it can read your mail from orbit right through the envelope. Well, I'll be damned.
I covered the spy satellite. If you didn't see that video, go through my videos. You'll see it in the thumbnail where we saw the spy balloon drama back in February and the end of January, right? Where the balloon just was allowed to cross our entire country, topographing, our entire landscape, military bases, cities, towns. Obviously, we saw the lasers over the big island, over the islands, I should say, all the islands of Hawaii doing this back in January. And then what ends up happening, right? So put them together. You have Hawaii, you have the killer satellite, and you have the spy satellite, right? Coincidence? Well, you tell me. Then, of course, if we continue on in the game,
it kind of sounds like that this was planned out, right? It kind of sounds like they had an agenda behind this, huh? The deep state.
some of the other just cards that I think resonate with the narrative here that came out of Maui. We had the early warning, right? This is, of course, what we didn't have. This is what they tell us. They say there was early warning signs in regards to wildfires in Maui, but they've begun to twist their narrative in a sense, right? So where were the early warning signs of the actual hurricane off at sea, right? Now, the early warning sign obviously has everything to do with HARP. It has everything to do with weather control and weather manipulation. And in this case, where were the warning signs for people? There weren't warning signs, but then the media tells us there were warning signs. So which one is it? I thought the warning signs were, Maui should have been prepared for wildfires, right? But now they're not using that narrative. They're using the same one that they used in California, the same place where we saw a direct energy weapon used, where they're telling us that electrical wires and bad electric is the reason for it. Then, of course, the communist regime, or I should say the communist puppets who follow this government and follow at every word, every step, at every corner, will do whatever they say. They listen to that and they go, yep, we got to do something about it. We got to go green. We got to go get the smart meters in.
And this is the early warning that he was talking about, that card, which I didn't know that played a part, but I guess it does.
I mean, they are so unbelievably slow. It's insane. So we have the early warning sign. And then you have some of these ones that I just put in here, like orbital mind control lasers, right? Because remember,
there you go.
Energy weapons can come in many forms. And if you're not familiar with some of the artillery that the military has and the government has, they actually can use all sorts of direct energy weapons on you that you wouldn't see, that would cause you to suddenly have a heart attack, which would cause you to have all sorts of, ringing in your ears, headaches, all sorts of mental health problems. Now, they don't need to use this by coming up your driveway and doing it. They can do it from all different locations. Even those locations that are right up your road that sometimes they hide in trees, fake trees, which are called 5G towers. So I thought that was an interesting one I put in there. We had spontaneous combustion, which pretty much is what happened there. It was so spontaneous.
Fire, look, she's on fire. Spontaneous combustion.
I mean, it just literally went into flames the entire island for the most part. I mean, the main, parts of the island, which was Lahaina. And then you have this one, pave the earth, right? Now, pave the earth, you can interpret this different ways, but this is
Pave, that's what we're talking about, pave the earth. We can see a triangle, the Illuminati symbol right there, too.
Environmentalist card, one of the many environmentalist cards in the game. And you can see that they're destroying, farmland, they're destroying the environment, and they're paving it, right? Well, this has a lot to do with smart cities, bringing in smart cities, right?
See?
Destroying what was, once out there, say somewhere like Lahaina, it's a little town with little shops, but it's still, Maui's
Our mission in Coding Dojo is about redefining what's possible in our students' lives. If you are
obviously an island, it's tropic, it has, It has, nature, in other words. So all these things are going to be destroyed in smart cities. You think these are going to be green cities? Oh, wow, there's a tree out there. That's what they'll say. Oh, look, inside the lobby of your smart city, enslavement camp, there's some trees and stuff, and it looks futuristic. And these are all mind control tactics that they'll use. So they have the pave the earth card. The meek shall inherit. Obviously, this is biblical as well. The meek shall inherit the earth. But this card here specifically has a lot to do with the land grab, right? You could see the land destroyed surrounding people and a person stuck in the ground, right? What are we seeing here? Well, we're seeing all the civilians who are about to lose their land. Insurance companies are not going to cover the claims. We all know that. That's how this works. BlackRock is going to come in and scoop it up, and nobody's going to say boo. And people will still defend it because they'll defend, as long as their feelings aren't hurt, they'll defend whatever the government does. So the meek shall inherit the earth. You can see the destruction behind what looks like potentially a soldier, but could be interpreted also in different ways as just a civilian who loses his land. The meek shall inherit. It's a mockery in a sense because the meek won't be inheriting the land of the earth. The rich will be gobbling it up, and that's what you see going on. Bill Gates taking all the land in the United States of America. From Bezos to Oprah, all these celebrities are just eating up the land. Why? Well, they're going to control the food. They're going to control what you can and cannot eat. They want to make sure that you don't try to go into any territories outside of where the smart cities reside, right? What do you think? Bill Gates bought all this land to create a smart city? No, he bought all this land because when they try to herd you into these smart cities, the land outside and surrounding it where you think you'll be able to go to escape the smart cities will be owned by these people. And they'll probably have military on those lands to make sure you don't go on their land. So keep that in mind. The energy crisis is another card. And of course, this ties into it, right? Because we just keep hearing them talk about the energy crisis.
That's the gas that we're paying. That's taking effect right now, actually. We're at the pumps paying a lot of money for gas.
They're blaming the electrical grid. The energy crisis card is one of the most important cards in the actual game. And, when you look at some of the other stuff in here, obviously there's things that this could lead to. There's a World War III card. You have your weather satellite card, which is a common one that they always use, obviously. But, let's be realistic about this. Anyone out there that looks at this and believes the actual narrative from the mainstream media is out of their mind. And one of the most liberal states that are out there. So if a liberal of the population that's okay with the government waging war on the people. That's how insane this is. Hawaii is a blue state. It's one of the most liberal states that are out there. So if a liberal, extreme liberal government that's in place, right, extreme communist liberal world order that's in place, if they're willing to do this to their own state, right, a state that you would say, this is one of the things that happens with the liberals and the conservatives. They think that whoever is in power and is going to be loyal to the specific state that voted them in, or if it's a blue state, because there's now, set blue states and red states, right? Like Texas is always going to be a red state, okay? Like California is always going to be blue. Well, Hawaii has always been a blue state, and we have an extremely liberal world order. Our own president has said, out of his own mouth, that this is a liberal new world order, that they have no problem frying their citizens, making them homeless, killing them off, and stealing their land. And these people still will support this government regime. Now, I'm not saying that the conservative side's any better. Both sides are controlled. But you would think that these would be things that would wake people up, right? When your own political party would do this to its own people. Its own party, I should say. Let alone its own people. Because if you want to look at it from the perspective that, well, the liberals don't care about the conservatives and vice versa, the liberals look at the conservatives as terrorists. It really is. Because nobody's looking at this. I've seen
weather satellites. Oh, we all know that exists.
Even liberals looking at this from stuff I've seen online, tweets and all that type of stuff that's trending and viral, that they're suspicious of this. But they don't.
That's the space lasers, and that's Hawaii. There you go, people.
Want to admit to a direct energy weapon because they would never want.
All right, guys, look. You get the picture, okay? They put the shit in the cards before it actually happens. It's all on my channel. If you go to my previous videos, it's all there. You see where I posted it. But I didn't know they had one on Hawaii, so this is new to me, guys. So I'm about to take my fat ass to Mickey D's and get some damn sweet tea or something. See you guys. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you're not subscribed.